Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of update. I've been putting the approach together for the last 6 weeks, and it's taken me a little bit of time. I've had to rethink how to design the course so we could get through it, but also based on what Professor Jeffries did. And this is the way I've kind of designed it. I'm going to go ahead with the economics unit over the next few weeks, about 3 weeks or so. And let me walk you through it because I haven't quite nailed down the last few weeks, but let me go through it with you. And just so you can see how to do it, okay? And there I am. Hi. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm going to keep these at the bottom, okay? Political science, science, religious studies aren't really part of the game right now, but the economics is. We're going to go to the economics page. That's where I'm setting up the next lessons, the discussions, and everything you're going to need for the next 3 weeks or so, okay? So click on that economics link and that takes you right over here. And look at that. I've got the readings right here. So the readings are ready for you. And I know you've already done some of this. Um, and there they are for you. You can download them and everything else and put them on your computer. You do have to go up here to download them onto your computer. You have to put it onto your computer to get it. And there you go. You're happy now. And let me show you where I've got it. It's over here. This is the actual PDF file on my computer. Okay, and that's what I work with. I work with a PDF on my computer, and again, it's the whole goal was to make all this cheap for you, but also to give you the core readings that are known in each and every field. And one of the core readings with undeniably in economics is Adam Smith, but also Karl Marx, and then Keynes. The last one we won't cover. It's I've given you 4 readings from economics. We're going to cover the first 3. We don't have quite enough time to get to Friedman. He's excellent. We usually have more time, but we won't have it for this one. So, and there we are. So those are the readings right there, okay? So the readings you open right there, and then what I'm going to go ahead and post, and I'll be a little bit ahead of you on this, okay? So even though I'm a little bit behind right now, I'm going to be a little bit ahead of you coming up in a couple days, is I have gone ahead and made lectures on Smith and on Marx. The Marx one isn't so great. It's pretty good. It gets you going on the Marx and explains some of the stuff that's going on with them. But I explain the basic Smith ideas and how what money is and what it isn't. Most people don't know what it's not. And then I have a video on Marx. And, you know, lots of people don't understand what money is. Smith really spells it out. And also, he's the first one to really spell out what supply and demand are. And it's magnificent. And then Marx, a lot of people misunderstand that Marx is built directly upon Smith. People too often think they get along. You know, they're perfectly built together. Marx knew that Smith was how it's built. And Keynes is going to be the 3rd lecture I'm going to post here, probably sometime early next week. And early in November, probably sometime around the 11th or 12th, I'll have it up there, okay? So 11th or 12th, you can look for it. So I'll have Keynes up there. I will not be doing a Friedman. But the writing assignment is up there. That's the final essay is right here. That's the assignment that you're going to be writing is this one. That's the application of economic theory. Now, a little heads up, don't worry about it yet. What you should be worried about right now is making sure you understand the Smith, the Marx, and the Keynes. That's got you busy enough for the next 2 weeks, okay? Just understanding Smith, Marx, Keynes will keep you busy from, you know, the end of this week and all the way through next week, okay? That is more than enough, okay? If you've got those down and you do the readings and get those readings done and get the lectures done, the videos, they're really boring. Oh my God, are they boring? But get the readings done, get the lectures done, and get the discussions done. Make sure you post on the discussion. So you go to the discussion area, and I've posted those to the top of the discussion. So you should be getting those done. I've moved her discussions off of the board And I've moved the Smith, Marks, and Keynes discussions onto the board. So you'll be taking part in those discussions. And one little difference is I don't require that you reply to other folks, but I really do want you to write a thorough summary of each and every one. And I would like these done next week, okay? So you've got a calendar that's asking you to get these discussions done within a certain time frame. So I've just clicked on the calendar, and what I want is the Smith done on the 12th. That's in good shape. Now I'm going to leave it open a little bit longer, but you really need to get it done by the 12th, or else you're going to be falling behind. So complete the Marks reading by the 14th, and then do the Marks discussion by the 15th. And then do the Keynes by the 19th and write his discussion up by the 20th. That will put you in good shape, okay? So take a look at your calendar. You should see how we're kind of shifting over, and that I'm asking you to get the Smith reading done. Get the Smith reading completed by the, it should be by the 11th. I'll put a Smith reading done by the 11th. But you're going to have the Smith discussion done by the 12th. And by the 14th, you get the Marks reading done, get his discussion done by the 15th. And all of this is in your calendar. So again, I do it much the same, but I do it slightly differently. I do it a little bit more simplified. I'm not going to worry too much about, you should have all of these done from before. So really what your focus should be on is getting the Smith discussion done by the 12th of next week, and then getting the Marks discussion done by next week, and then getting the Keynes done by the week after that. And that's what we're doing, okay? And get the lectures done. I'm going to keep those up there and keep those available to you throughout this week and throughout next week, and so you can go through it and it'll walk you through it. These readings, I've got to give you a heads up, they are really, really boring stuff, okay? But I'll tell you right now, once you get them down, it's like, oh wow, that makes sense. Now I get what Marx was talking about with collapses in society, and why he thought it would lead to a revolution. It never did. No so-called communist revolution ever followed Marx's model. But you're going to see why he had these certain ideas. And what Keynes did was to resolve the Marx issue, the crisis that Marx saw happening, but he solved it in a way that uses monetary policy. And you're going to see why. And he used Smith's idea. Okay, so you're going to see how these things all link up. And really, in the end, in 2008, they used Keynesia's ideas to solve the economic crisis. All of this stuff is alive and well. That economic crisis, that was something Smith didn't foresee. Marx did. Keynes told us how to resolve it. Okay, so you're going to see that this is all going to come back together. Okay, and so I'll get a new lecture up on for the economics unit, but this is walking you through it from the home page. You're on the home page. You're watching this video right now. It was up there. You're going to go to the economics pages. Go to the economics pages when you're done watching this extremely boring video. Go to economics, don't go to these others, and then that will take you to the next stage. Okay, there are the readings right here. Here they are. Okay, Smith, Marx, Keynes. Also included in that is the Milton Friedman at the end. You can read it if you want. It's actually pretty easy to read. It's not that tough. But I'm only going to hold you to Smith, Marx, and Keynes, okay? Because we got to, get moving on the last stuff here. And I'll have the Keynes last one, that lecture up pretty soon, okay? And here's the writing assignments. I will take you through that in an upcoming lecture. So right now, what you should be focused on is getting that Smith reading done, and watch the Smith lecture, okay? And then get the discussion done. Go to the discussion area right here. You're going to have a Smith discussion. I'm going to be taking the rest of the discussions out of the way, okay, so you don't get confused on those. Make sure you got all the rest of the discussions completed. Get that Smith discussion done. It's summarizing the main points of Smith and explain what he says on supply and demand. He's got a very interesting idea of what it is. Here it is. And you're going to get the main points of the Smith reading and explain really what he's talking about. Let me get me out of the way. With a basic idea of supply and demand, as it explained on paragraph 12. paragraph 12, that rocked the whole economics world, okay, which didn't really exist until then. So you're going to go and you're going to write your summary, and write a good, thorough summary of Smith's ideas, okay? Really give it some effort, okay? And then you're going to start working on the Marx, okay? And then you're going to work on summarizing Marx's basic ideas, and you want to show how Marx is based on Smith. And I'm going to get rid of these other ones up here pretty dang soon. You're going to show and you're going to explain how Marx is actually built on Smith's ideas regarding trade and development of economics. It's pretty surprising to a lot of people that Marx thoroughly endorsed and knew what Smith was writing about. He's writing 75 years after Smith did, and he saw it all happen. He explains it. He just says, yeah, this is what happened. But he picks up on a problem that Smith didn't know was going to happen. Smith couldn't, because he wasn't in a thoroughly advanced economic situation. Marx was. Writing 75 years later, things had changed. Smith had kicked in. This is what happened. It created crisis after crisis that Smith couldn't have foreseen. And then you're going to see the discussion on Keynes is going to be built on Smith and Marx. Okay, and you're going to see Keynes really goes to resolving the crises that are happening in economics, resolving them with monetary policy. And you're going to explain that. And that's exactly what we saw in 2008. They resolved it with what's called the stimulus and other things. And that was Keynes. That was Keynes's basic idea on how it should be done. So, so give those a go. Keep on those discussions. I will have videos coming up on the economics essay. So don't panic on it. This is slightly different than what you've been doing with Professor Jeffries, but it should be a little bit easier to follow. I'm going to be taking down a lot of the discussions. Make sure you finish them all up. I'll be taking them down just to get them out of the way for the clutter, okay? All right, take care, everybody. You've done great with Professor Jeffries. And again, I want to reiterate, I am going to take everything Professor Jeffries did with you and count it as, you know, part of your grade, and it's going to be, all of it is going to be useful and it's going to contribute towards your grade, okay? So I want you to know that's all going to count, and I think she's done, want to repeat, a magnificent job with taking it over and working with you guys. And you're going to see I do things slightly differently, okay? But she's done everything magnificently, and I'm going to incorporate that entirely into the grade and into the course. I'm still working it out. Be patient with me. I'm definitely getting on it. But I'm going to make sure I account for all of the work you've accomplished and everything you've done, and we'll work it in for the course grade and, you know, for what you've accomplished. Okay, all right, take care, guys, and get on the Smith. And if you have an issue, send me an email. I've already gotten a few emails, and they're perfectly good. They have questions where they did, you know, they missed something or they didn't quite understand one thing. Those are questions are great. Send them to me. If you don't quite get something, I will reply as soon as I can. And take care, guys, and I appreciate your patience. We're going to keep at it. We're going to get this last major unit and then one final smaller unit towards the end is what I'm going to do. All right? Take care, guys.